What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Customizing Culture podcast brought to you by Heat Press Nation. My name is Jared, and my guest today, he's my favorite guest, if I'm going to be totally honest. Christopher, welcome back to the pod, bro.
Thank you so much for having me back, Jared.
Yes, sir. It's good to have you back. How you been?
I've been good, man. Just day by day, you know.
Yeah, still learning, still cooking butt?
Still learning, still trying to master everything, but, you know, I've gotten used to my time here, and I really enjoy it.
Nice. Now, for those people who maybe this is their first episode, why don't you reintroduce yourself to the podcast?
Okay. So my name is Chris. I'm new at Heat Press Nation. It's been about 6-7 months now, so not that new, but, you know, still learning the ropes of everything. When I first started working here, I had no idea what a heat press was. And so right now I would say I'm about 40. I want to say 40% because there's just so much to learn, you know?
Yeah, there really is.
And I'd rather underestimate than overestimate myself.
Yeah.
So the process has been fun, learning and everything, and just keeping up with everything that's going on recently. So
yeah, that's super cool. I remember. So Chris, by the way, is, if you want to see his first episode, he is guest number 1, numero uno over here. And when I think you were like 2 months in.
2 months. Yeah.
You were so fresh.
Yep.
Yeah. Now are you a battle scarred veteran now, or kind of?
I wouldn't say a battle scarred.
Not battle scarred. Okay.
I can maybe keep the conversation going a little bit better. Like, I know that we have a lot of guests that fly in and when we go out and stuff like that. And before, it used to be super hard for me to just communicate with them and talk about and go even more in depth about their business and everything.
Right, because their knowledge base is so deep.
Exactly.
And you're so green. But not, yeah, you got it.
It's kind of like I have to get past that wall initially, and then you discover more.
Yeah, that's cool, man. Well, I've seen your work. I'm a big fan.
Okay. Thank you.
Big
Thank
fan.
you. Thank you.
For those of you guys, you probably can't see it. Maybe we can get a picture, maybe not. But Chris decorated a section of the office with his work. I do those photo panels. When I walked in and I first saw those, I was like, 2 thoughts. I was like, that's legit. Like, that looks great. And then I was like, that's Chris, because Chris has been putting in some work on those Chromolux photo panels.
Yes, I have. Thank you so much.
Is that your favorite product?
It probably is,
cool.
just because I think the outcome is so, it's so, what's the word for it? Vibrant, bold.
Yes.
It really fills up a room.
They look super, super good. And I think, and I don't know if this is why you love them. I love them because and it's not a put down, but I don't have to think too hard about them. If the process is so simple, you just you tape it down, you press it, and it comes out, and it's amazing. So the process is simple, but the product is just so freaking cool. It looks amazing.
The quality is so high, and when you're first making it, right, you just have a regular print. You're like, okay, this is gonna be cool or whatever, and then you transfer it, and then since it's glossy or it's metallic, right? There's a little it kind of changes colors while you're looking at it from different angles. So I really think it's neat.
That's cool. What other products are you stoked on? Because I mean, now you have a lot more experience. Really quick, why don't you tell everyone? Well, I'll just tell them. You tell them. What else do you do here at Heat Press Nation?
What else do I do here?
Because you're not just my podcast guest.
Yeah, so I am in charge of the short form content and just making POVs, just how-tos, tutorials, things like that. I also co-host with you on Tuesdays at 1 p.m.
Boop.
We do giveaways in our live stream, virtual events. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I do that, and then I also edit podcast clips and our other long form videos into short form.
Nice. Heck yeah. So you're waist deep in content. That's your life. Not your
Pretty
life, that's your job, right?
More of I have a wet sock on and I'm just sloshing around in content.
Okay.
Yeah.
At parties, when people ask what you do, what do you tell them? I'm a content creator, I'm a content producer,
Oh, so this is what I say, right?
Give me the line.
Yeah, I do marketing at a tech company.
Yeah. Okay, dude, is it just me, or is it hard to explain to people what Heat Press Nation is?
It's super hard, especially because people don't usually don't have an idea what it is to begin with. So when I first started working here, I just started saying that we sell products that help you make T-shirts.
Yes. So some people ask me, "Oh, so what do you do?" Which is funny for me because I do and then for those of you guys who don't know, I'm not just this podcast host. I do the live stream with Chris every week. I'm in some of the videos. I help a little bit scripting here and there, and then I do sales. Just helping people find the right equipment for them.
Yeah.
So all that, like, there's no like one job title for that. Like, and so when people ask me, hey, what do you do? I'm like, I work at a company and we sell the equipment to make t-shirts. We don't actually we don't sell t-shirts.
Yeah.
We help people make and like, I always have to give that disclaimer because before I would say, oh yeah, I work at a company, we sell t-shirt equipment. I'm like, oh, can you make me a shirt? Can you? Oh,
yes,
you guys make t-shirts there?
Uh-huh.
Are you a screen printer? And
Yeah.
I'm like, and so they ask you, so there's always like the same follow-up question. So I kind of honed it down to like a real time, like, yeah, I work at a company, we sell t-shirt making equipment. We don't make t-shirts.
Yeah.
But we sell the equipment so people can make their own t-shirts. And I always give them like the full disclaimer and everything.
Yeah, you have to, because then they'll ask you like, oh, can you do this for me? Can you do this for me? But it's like, we just sell the product. We give you the educational like aspect behind it and like how to set up your business. But we're not the service, right?
Yeah.
We're more of a goods.
What do you tell your girls' parents that you do?
Oh, I tell them I do marketing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just leave it at that. They're like, oh, okay.
Dude, when I first met my now she's my wife. When I first met her parents, I wasn't working here yet. I was actually freelancing.
Oh, okay.
But I had locked in a contract with a mortgage company. So I like beefed it up. I was doing like 12 hours a week there sometimes, which is nothing.
Yeah.
But I like, oh, so what do you do? And I'm like, oh yeah, I do graphic design for a mortgage company. And they're like, oh wow,
nice.
This guy, he's gonna take care of our daughter. And I'm like,
right. Sometimes you do have to like butter it up and just
a little
romanticize your life a little bit, right?
Just a little bit, especially for the girls' parents.
Especially.
Yeah. Everybody
definitely.
else, all my friends knew exactly what I wasn't trying to like front to any of them. Like, I freelance graphic design. Blah blah blah. Like, oh yeah, cool. We were all broke. Nobody cared who made more money than the other person. But yeah, when they asked me, I was like, oh yeah, which wasn't a lie. It just sounds so much cooler than, yeah, I freelance and my cousin got me a gig. Like that was.
You're like, I draw from time to time.
Yeah. So like, yeah. So that's funny. Anyways, yeah. Well, really glad to have you here at Heat Press Nation. I feel like as one of the old heads here. I'm like, yeah, like I do want to be welcoming to our new guy, and then you're not that new anymore, which is kind of cool. Yeah,
I think I'm still the newest person. No, I'm not.
You're one of the newest.
I'm one of the newest.
One of the newest. Yeah.
Yeah. So until another group of people come in, then I'll still be under that new guy title. But I'm still learning from everybody. I love everybody here, and I learned a lot from you, especially.
Oh,
so.
Thanks, Chris.
Of course.
Yeah. So what I think is really cool about like your journey here is that you started out, you do nothing, ruined a bunch of transfers, but now like you're like, I see your stuff and I'm like, oh dude, this is pro quality. Like it literally does not get better. Like it's like we talked about your photo panels. There's no possible way to make a photo panel better than what you're already at. You're at you've peaked. That's it. That's you've reached the top of making those Chromolux panels. I honestly, if you wanted to start a business selling those, you could 100%. Like the quality of your work is there. What other products have you like gotten a chance to mess with that you're like, if you had to start a business, you could for sure like sell XYZ? Like what other stuff are you confident in?
So I think when running a business, I think what I would prefer to look for is efficiency. Like if I hate doing it or love doing it. Right. Yes. And then what I think would be able to sell.
I never thought of any of those things. I was just like, how can I make money?
I can do it, right?
Yeah. No, that's great. That's great. Okay, so what hits the mark for you on those?
Yeah. So I think stuff that just looks cool to me, that catches my eye. Because if I don't want to buy it, then I can't possibly think of how I would try to market this to somebody that would want to buy it, right? Yep. So that's the first step. So I'm thinking like different types of vinyl on a t-shirt maybe. Like I think shirts will do like pretty well, especially like using like puff vinyl. Like
oh yeah, you got that puff vinyl down.
I'm pretty good at the puff vinyl. It's kind of inconsistent sometimes just because like if I don't remember the shirt pressure settings, then it becomes a drag. I have to test it out again. Yeah. But I've pretty much mastered that. I like using that. I like using these are easy. I like jerseys as well.
Oh yeah, jerseys come out really jerseys cool. Are great. I love jerseys because if you're using like Easy Weed or whatever, it's the same process as a t-shirt, but because the blank is so cool, it's like an elevated blank. It has more of like a wow factor.
Exactly.
So yeah, I think jerseys are great.
Yeah. I think that's something I could definitely dive deeper into. Jerseys for events, jerseys as like merchandise for whatever company or brand that
Okay,
support.
you have to start your custom business tomorrow. And you have all the equipment here to use, right? You're starting your business tomorrow. What 3 products are you going to sell?
Ooh, do they have to be cohesive? Like, does it have to be like drinkware, so mugs, shot glasses?
Oh, I see what you mean.
Tumblers.
No, well, no, but just pick one. So either mugs or shot glasses.
Okay.
Or you could pick 3 cups. I don't care. But what 3 products are you so confident in that you could start a business tomorrow?
I would do jerseys.
Okay.
With Subblock.
Yes.
Or Easy Beat Stretch.
Yeah.
That was pretty good.
Yeah.
I would do that. I would do the metal prints.
Of course.
Have to.
Chromolux panels, yeah.
And then the last one, this is hard. This is a really hard.
Because I know you're a pro at the mugs.
I'm
don't.
Okay at the mugs.
Oh, yeah? Have you done tumblers yet?
Well, see, that's the thing, right? With the mugs, it's like, I feel like there's not as much of a skill gap, right? Like, once you get it good, it's good.
Yeah.
As you say, once you peak, you peak.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I don't really find that much joy in making mugs.
Okay. So
Yeah.
what's number 3?
Number 3, tumblers are hard for me. I would say, recently, I've been liking pillowcases.
Oh, those are so easy. Yeah, I love them.
It's a simple transfer, and then I think that like customized pillowcases would look really cool too. So
yeah,
I've been having fun with those.
Nice. Okay, I think that's pretty cool because I think it's cool because you knew nothing, and then now legit with like not like trying to puff you up or nothing. You could start a business tomorrow if you wanted to. Like you have the skill set now. And honestly, I feel like you could have started your Chromolux business like in the first week. Like those are the cool thing about those is they're pretty easy. Like once you peak, you peak. Once you get it.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
There's a little bit of a learning curve, but definitely.
Right, of course. I'm trying to like oversell it to everybody. But like yeah.
And a lot of wasted transfers and prints down the drain, but
okay, that's also and I disclaimer, all right, that's because I kind of threw you to the wolves on those. Like I think, and okay, were you watching the YouTube videos?
They told me to, but it was so hard to. I don't know why, and like that's why like
because you're a hands-on guy.
I am a hands-on guy.
Yeah.
So a lot of times when like learning like from like whether by the book or like with whatever it is, I prefer being hands-on and just doing it myself and learning through experience.
Yeah.
So
and I feel like kind of let you down because like they're like, hey, Chris is learning those. I'm like, I should go up there and help him. Nah. but you got to learn on. I feel like like with a little hands-on, you probably could have gotten a little faster though.
Maybe a little bit faster. Yeah. Maybe. But I do ask a lot of questions. So
yeah. It's true. Cool, man. Yeah. Well, dude, I think it's been really interesting to see your journey here so far. Like, and just your skill level. I haven't had such a close eye on somebody's skill advancement in a very long time. So I think that's really cool. Like just for me, like big uncle over here in the corner, like, oh yeah, way to go, Chris.
And I think because like we work pretty closely with each other.
Yeah.
Right. Like whether it's for a podcast, for a live, scripting out videos.
Yeah.
Like, or even just like learning how to transfer certain like products from you. It's just we work pretty close.
Yeah,
together.
that's fun.
Yeah,
good stuff.
Thank you.
There. All right, man. Okay, so you were guest number 1 for sure. Guest number like 7 or 8. I honestly I forget your second visit. This is your 3rd time on the podcast. So you're by default you're my favorite guest. But dude, I gotta say, like we've had some amazing guests, and I know you're involved in the podcast. So like, dude, I think one of the coolest things. And by the way, if we haven't said it yet, this is the season finale. I think I should have opened with that, but yeah, this is the season finale of Customizing Culture, which it's been a blast for me, to be totally honest. I've never in this space in the heat press garment decoration industry, I've never really done anything like this. So it's been pretty cool. Gotten to meet some really cool people. But dude, I know you've gotten to know a lot. I feel like I've learned so much, and that's because like I'm in it. But just in the conversations I've had. I've learned so much from our different guests.
Let me ask you this though.
Oh, go.
When we first started the podcast, did you think that you were going to capture so many nuggets or talk to this many different people?
Oh man, I was hoping I would.
You're hoping to?
When they first said we're starting a podcast, I was like, who the heck am I going to talk to?
Mm-hmm.
I had no idea. Some of the guests we had have really just blown my mind. Like, oh, we got that dude. Oh, wow, very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then some of the guests, like I didn't even know them until we booked them on the podcast. And then, obviously in doing my research, preparing for the interviews, like I would be like, oh, this chick is killer. Like, what? This is amazing work.
Yeah. So
it's been really cool for me to just meet and discover like different people in our industry. And I think it's funny to say discover, like they've been there the whole time, but I think it's been really cool. And then the nuggets, dude, like I love learning. I feel like I'm always trying to take stuff in and learn stuff. And dude, I've learned so much on this podcast. And it was kind of like right out of the gate, like even in the first couple of, I remember when we had Brando on, I forget which podcast number he is, but he's really early in the series. And I've been following Brando for years. And we mentioned it, he's like the first guy that I talked to.
Yeah.
In my work here, like professionally, like, what is he? Our affiliate. He's our first affiliate.
I think he's our second guest, was he not? After
probably. I know it was like you, Brittany, and Brando were like the first three.
Yeah, okay.
But anyways, but he was outside of the podcast. He was like one of the first outside people I talked to. So anyways, been following him for years, and to actually sit and have a conversation with him was super cool. And my boy brought the knowledge.
Yeah, definitely.
Like probably my favorite nugget from him was when he was saying like as far as like, cause I was asking him about balance, like work-life balance, and he goes, dude, you set your family time first.
Okay.
And then you set then you schedule your work time. Like don't mess with that family time. Like the family time comes first.
Yeah.
And then you fit in your work time as you can. And I was like, whoa, I felt like something like unlocked in my head, because it was so simple, but like so effective. I don't know. Did you have any like nuggets like through the podcast that you like things people were sharing that you were like, whoa?
Yeah, definitely. When Brando was definitely spitting. He was spitting game. Yeah.
Yes, he was.
So you brought up how he was talking about putting your family time first, right? Because that's what matters in life, right?
Yes, like
if you're working all the time and you're not like having or putting aside time to spend it with your friends, family, your loved ones, then it's almost like, what's the point of it, right? You can't enjoy life,
dude. But dude, sorry, real quick, my wife started watching Succession.
Okay.
I freaking hate that show.
What is that?
It's a HBO TV show about this like big corporate family. It's like a dad and he has like 4 kids, and the family sucks and everybody's super dysfunctional, but they're all super rich. Big corporate, they run this huge, I don't even know what the company does. And they all hate each other and they hate their dad. And I'm like, this sucks.
Yeah.
Like I don't care how rich they are. Like if that was my family, like I'd bounce out. Like I would. Like I couldn't do it, so I hate that show.
Yeah.
Keep watching it. I hate, or I should say, I hate the characters. Like
it's definitely important to have a personal life outside of your career, and people that have like a career over their personal life, like kudos to them, you got your money, but like, dude, it's not for me personally.
Right, like on your deathbed, you're gonna be like, oh, good, I'm glad you're all alone, and like, oh, good, but at least I had a lot of money. Like, no.
Yeah, exactly. So with that being said. Right, I think balance is so key. Yes. And when Big Brando said something along the lines of putting 2 hours a day, for your business, that's all it takes. 2 hours a day.
Yeah,
right?
And he was even talking about like split it to an hour in the morning, an hour at night, but just lock in those hours.
Think about it. That's 14 hours a week. That's 56 hours a month. 14 times 4.
Yeah,
that's
sure. I trust you on that.
That's more than 40. Hours a week. That's more than a 9 to 5, right?
Wait, well, hold on. You said 14 hours a week?
Wait. Yeah, 2 times 7.
Yeah, that.
And then 14 times 4.
Oh, yeah. Okay, right. So in a month, you've put in a full week's work. Okay, I see. I was like, not the best mather. I'm not the best mather up here, all right, guys?
Oh, I kind of said that wrong. Kind of explained that wrong. But 56 hours, so you're putting in about a full week's worth of work.
Yes.
On your side business,
dude, which is pretty wild.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's incredible, man. Like, and it's just, and you know what's funny is like, it's like little nuggets like that like you don't think about it until someone makes you think about it. Dude, I feel like there was like so much good knowledge being like thrown around. Dude, my conversation with Mal's Crafty Corner, Melanie, dude, she was saying how like, and again, it's not like an exact quote, but what I was really vibing with her on was like she was saying how like you own your own business, but for what? Like if it's not helping you be your best person, then like what are you even doing it for?
Yeah.
Or you're killing yourself over this and your life sucks. Like you missed the point.
Exactly.
And for me, I was like, whoa, like I think it's Dave Ramsey. He says like don't serve your money, make your money serve you.
Oh.
Like, and I'm
okay.
like, yeah, for sure. Like, and so when like thinking about like small businesses and running a side hustle, it's like, right, like I'm not here to serve the money.
Yeah.
Like, got to find a way, make the money serve me. So yeah, so I just love that.
Especially if you're doing it on your own time too, on top of like your regular work. You don't want to be always dedicating your life to something that's not gonna necessarily dedicate it back to yourself, right?
Right, like if there's no return, what are you even doing?
Exactly.
If that's the case, start a hobby.
Yeah.
You know, go, I don't know, go build model planes or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Something like that.
And she's also brought something about like protecting your peace, correct?
Yeah, dude, very, very important because like, I'll speak for myself. Like sometimes I'll let like jobs and extra work and just kind of like mess with my peace, and I'm not having a good time. I'll get home, I'm not even at work anymore, and I'm like not having a good time. I'm like upset or whatever. So it's like, yeah, very like no one's gonna do that for you. Like no one's gonna like protect your peace for you. Like you gotta take
self-care, right?
Self-care, yeah.
Melanie also brought up something about valuing your time.
Yes.
And that kind of goes along with protecting your peace. Because sometimes you don't really want to make an order for someone because they're just paying you at cost for it, right? You're not really getting anything out of it.
Dude, I've done that so many times where I paid myself. This is early on in my side hustle career. But yeah, where I would like pay myself like minimum wage or less. I would lose money on jobs.
Yeah.
Because I didn't value my time. And I didn't value what I was worth. And so if I'm not valuing it, what I found out real quick is no one else is going to value it for me.
Yeah, exactly.
So you got to like, even if it's your mom or your grandma or your cousin's, neighbor, like, charge them what's appropriate, you know, because if you don't value your time, no one's going to value it for you.
I think it's a communication error a lot of people have as well too. Just not being able to set that boundary where you're like, okay, this is what I'm going to do for myself. This is what I'm going to do for other people. And you need to keep that for yourself or you're just going to regret it,
Yeah. 100%. Dude, you know who else? I feel like they just got like their little key, stuck it in my brain and unlocked some stuff. Lee Stewart.
Okay,
dude. First he was the guest where I was like, what?
Yeah.
So like I'm not even not saying I'm not into screen printing. I don't screen print. He's a big screen. He's probably one of the biggest screen print creators out there in the industry. He's amazing. And so I've been a big fan. I love to follow him just because I like staying aware of like different, even if I don't do it, if maybe in the future I want to do screen printing, at least I know. So anyway, and he's really entertaining. Yeah. His videos are dope.
Watching his videos, it's so inspirational, and just seeing all of his accomplishments and how he just keeps moving forward and progressing and growing his shop. And it's just like crazy to see.
My guy grinds, dude. So it was really cool when we booked him on the podcast. I was like so stoked that he said yes. But then like towards the end, like he gave us the cheat code, dude.
Oh yeah,
dude. When he opened up, like because I asked him, and I forget how the question was phrased, but like basically like how do you avoid burnout? Like how do you stay on top of things? And he just showed us a Google Calendar. It blew my mind.
I did like that. Yeah.
Yeah, like organization and like basically what he was saying. And I highly encourage you guys, as we're kind of talking about these nuggets, go back to those podcasts. Go check them out. There's so much good information and inspiration in there. You got to check it out. But anyway, so Lee was saying, I love what he was saying when he's like organization is like the key to success. Like get organized. And it sounds, again, one of those things that sounds so simple, but like for me, who's someone who's very disorganized, I was just like, whoa.
Yeah. So cool. He brought up the thing about time blocking, right?
Yes.
And setting aside each part of your day for a certain like task, right? And in doing so, you avoid burnout, because if something that you worry about isn't necessarily like meant for that time, then you gotta like move on,
Yeah.
right? You have to get on with your day. And it's also comes with like planning for success, because if you're walking and you have no destination, then you're kind of just walking, right?
Wandering.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
So if you plan for success, you have a goal that you want to reach, and you're enjoying the steps along the way, then you're bound to get there.
Yeah,
right.
for sure. Yeah, and again, so much good knowledge from these cats, dude.
Yeah.
The print on demand guys, when they told me that the designs are the assets, I was like, that's another one. It was just like unlocked something, because me, if you asked me like, hey Jed, what are assets that you have? I'd be like, I have a heat press, I have a vinyl cutter, I have a sublimation printer, mug press, whatever, right? I'll start listing like physical things that I could do.
Yeah.
And then they're like, no, your designs are your assets. Like you just sell your, and then like Martin, sales manager, and I think I mentioned this in a previous podcast, but when he was like, dude, like for the mugs, because in the mug video, with the Etsy mug video that we did.
Oh yeah, okay.
He was like, dude, like you're selling the artwork. You're not selling a mug. You're selling the artwork. I was just like, wait, what? And it's just changed. Honestly, it changed the way I think about selling products. So super cool. I love, and I love just finding new information, finding new ways to better myself, better my business. So much good stuff.
That's true though. It's
sorry,
creativity that takes over, really, right? It's not really the selling aspect of it, because if people want to buy something, they're already gonna want to buy it, right? You don't have to say a lot. So it's really your creativity that takes over the selling.
So were there any other like different like nuggets or just ideas or concepts that you picked up from the podcast that you were like, oh yeah, for sure, like just like unlocked anything for you?
Yeah, one that stuck out to me the most was Izzy Clark's story, with her being the same age as me, like roughly around, right? I think she's like 22. I'm 23 now, but she established her own business, and it started ever since she was like in high school or something like that. She's like, I remember she was saying how she wanted a sewing machine, and it was something that she's always wanted.
Yeah.
And then she used to always draw, and then like as time goes on, and she's always had that in mind. She didn't know that she was gonna necessarily start up a business like that, but she has something, and it all came from just like perseverance and just putting in the effort day to day, moving towards that goal. And that's like also comes with like planning to success as well.
And her episode, okay, if you want nuggets, Homegirl was dropping nugget after nugget.
She was.
Too many to even list right here, but like, yeah, great episode. No, I totally agree. And then, like we had her mom, May, and like, and to me, her and Reyes, and even John Phenom.
Yeah.
I know they dropped tons of nuggets, right? Great knowledge, but what I really pulled from those podcasts, those conversations, was their stories are just so darn inspiring. Like I hear their stories and I'm like, wait, so you weren't born rich? You weren't born with magic pixie dust, coming out of your ears? Like, I think so many times, like we see people and we see them when they're at 100,000 subscribers or 500,000 or whatever. We see them when they have the booming business and the dope line, clothing
when they're
line.
already like set in stone.
Yeah, and then like it's so easy to just miss the struggle that got them there. And then like for me, like I see someone with a ton of success, and then I'm like, oh, but that's not for me. Like I can't do that because I'm this. I don't have this access. I don't have this or that or whatever, right? Start making excuses, and then you talk to these people and you're like, oh shoot, like they came from like
they're normal people. They have their own trials and tribulations.
Yeah.
And they're also very motivating, and like they're friendly, and they want you to start as well because they've done it themselves. So it's like they're just spreading that joy and motivation to other people as well. And it's really, I really like the community, the Heat Press Nation creator community.
Yes. Oh, right? Big shout out to the creators, man. HPN creators. Yeah, super dope.
Yeah, I think because everybody's kind of like, although each and everybody's personal issues, like they don't necessarily align with each other, everyone still has them. And doing another side business on the side on top of everything like that, it's hard, it's difficult. You know?
For sure.
And especially going through that situation, like you need other people that kind of understand what you're going through and keep pushing you to move on.
Yeah, I agree 100%, man. And yes, big shout out to the HPN community. whether you're in the Facebook group. We have people who regularly join us every week for the lives.
Yeah.
I love them so much. Like when I see a lot of familiar names in there, and I'm just like,
yeah,
I don't know.
I love it when they say hi to us, ask us how our day was.
Yeah,
you know?
I got people ask me like how my son's doing, and I'm like, how do you know my son? I'm like, oh yeah, 'cause I talk about him like on all the live streams, and you know, people that you form these like, even though it's a digital relationship, it's like you still get to connect with people.
Yeah,
and it's super rad.
And I think because we're so authentic on live, right? Like,
yeah, they see our mess.
Yeah. They see our mess ups. They see
everything.
They see everything because it is live footage, you know. So you feel closer to your audience. And
yeah.
They feel closer to the streamer as well because it's literally it's a conversation basically to a bunch of people.
Yeah, and then same thing with the podcast. Like, yes, I do my research. You know, we have questions that I know I want to ask in advance, but a lot of times like that gets kind of just like thrown out the window because we're having these just like real life conversations with the guests, with you. It's just, I love it, dude. I love being able to just connect with people, and yeah, it's been a blast. This podcast, I mean, and then kind of going back to like just real quick, like stuff that I've learned. I feel like this podcast so far, and this is just season 1. Like
it is, it's only
dude,
season 1.
This is just season 1. Like we're already working on season 2. We're already like booking our guests, which more on that in a minute. But this is just season 1, and I already feel like it's been the catalyst for like me to relaunch my side businesses and stuff. In the earlier podcast, I talked a lot about how my business is and then now I'm gearing for my relaunch right now, and it's slowly but surely.
Yeah.
But it's been amazing. And so I think if there's one thing I've really taken from season 1, it's like, dude, hard work and organization. That's it.
Okay.
That's it.
Yeah.
Like nobody has pixie dust. Nobody has magic wands to just, hey, sell 1 million t-shirts. It's like, it's hard work and organization.
Yep.
And like, dude, I feel like that's been key. I don't know. Have there been any like concepts that you're just like, oh yeah?
I agree with you. Scheduling is so important. Knowing what to do on what day, always having a plan in mind.
Yeah.
But on top of that, I would also say just doing it, executing, right? Starting off this podcast, I didn't know that we were going to have 17 episodes.
I think this is 16,
16?
Yeah.
This many guests, right? But we put out a lot of good content this season, and I'm really proud of it.
Yeah, same.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's just like, just looking back, it's almost like if we didn't start, then none of that work would have been able to be on display and for us to look back on and see how far we came.
Yeah, exactly. And it gets me pumped because I'm like, hey, we did this.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, like people start podcasts all the time, right?
Yeah.
People have, zillions of episodes.
But how many people start podcasts and end after like the 3rd episode or the 4th?
Dude, right? I have a bunch of friends who did that.
Right? It's easy
true.
it's easy to start, but it's not easy to keep it going and be consistent.
For everybody out there who wants to start a podcast, like what advice would you have for them?
Oh.
I have a few of mine.
I would say get an editor. I would, because honestly,
man.
After recording, you're not going to want to go edit. You're not going to want to cut it up for socials.
And then if you don't edit it, then you just have like 2 hours of just like...
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And if your heart's not in it, if you're not doing the most that you absolutely can, then people can see right through it,
Yeah. I think if I had to give advice to somebody who wants to start a podcast on anything, whether it's heat pressing or in this industry or whatever, if somebody wants to start a podcast, I would tell them bank a couple episodes first.
Vault.
Like record and edit like 3 or 4 episodes first, and then tell me if you feel like doing that every week.
Yeah.
Because it's a lot of work, dude.
Definitely.
It is, and that's because I'm not even doing that. Like I'm here, and I don't want to like pull the curtain back too far. But we have a team that produces the podcast.
Yeah.
And I guess now's a really good time to shout out our team, shout out our producers, directors. So big love to Alex, Pat, and Ronnie. Puts in a lot of work. So yeah, and then of course you. But you're already here.
Thank you.
Yeah. So big shout out to the team behind this podcast. I feel like I'm just like 4% of of this
No,
big machine.
you're the
Okay, fine,
host.
5%. All right, I'll take it. But yeah, if you want to start a podcast, I say go for it. I think I love podcasts because you get so much additional perspective that you wouldn't get otherwise. And then having a conversational style thing, it's just like, it's deeper than what you're going to find in like a 3-minute YouTube video, right? Like, so I love it. Anyways, yeah, but bank a few episodes, fully edit and complete them, and then tell me if you feel like doing that.
Nah, everybody's gonna have like 3 to 4 episode seasons.
Yeah,
Their
dude.
podcast after seeing how much work it is.
Yeah, but on that note, so this is the season finale, season 1. So we release every Friday,
Yeah.
Customizing Culture podcast. But we're gonna pause on releasing. We're not pausing the podcast.
Okay.
But yeah, we're pausing on our releases so we could work hard and bring you guys some good content. So yeah, dude, how fun is that though? Like getting to produce the podcast or getting to like put in input and like develop, like book the guests and stuff.
I like it, especially in this time period right now. As you said, it's the season finale. It's almost like a off season.
But like you still train though.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
it's like athletes, right? Like in the
Yeah.
NBA, like it's the off season, but you're still putting in the work for the next season,
Yeah.
right? It's not like we're off. We're just
Not really.
waiting.
We're just not playing games right now.
yeah, exactly. We're behind the scenes.
We're the
putting in
Lakers. We just got
effort.
eliminated.
I know, right? I was watching that yesterday.
Dude, if anyone from the Lakers organization is watching this podcast, even if you're the janitor over there, but you like heat presses, like, bro, that was rough, dude. Getting swept sucks.
I'm not even a Lakers fan, and it broke my heart too.
It's tough,
watching
dude.
that. Yeah.
Getting swept sucks. And I know that's really going to date this episode.
Yeah.
Because it was just last night. But anyways, yeah. So, but sorry, back on track. Season 2.
Season
I'm
2.
excited. We have some guests that we're in the process of confirming our guests. That's exciting. But really quick, people, if you're watching or listening and you have your favorite creator that you think I should be talking to, you want somebody who's going to ask them the real questions, you want to hear more from your favorite creators, email us. You're going to have, there's a link in the description, or the email is going to be in the description, whether you're on Spotify or Apple Music or YouTube or whatever. Check out the description for the email. Or if you're on YouTube, you can comment it as well. But let us know who you think we should be talking to. We have had an amazing list of guests in this first season, including Chris. And you're going to be back next season, right?
Definitely.
Better
We'll be back.
All right. So Chris is back next season. We have a few guests that like, dude, when Lee said, he goes, oh yeah, we'll talk about that next season. I was like, he wants to come back. So we got to get Lee back.
Yeah.
A couple other guests. I feel like I have to get Brando back.
Yes, definitely.
My God, that was just, dude, that was like the tip of the iceberg of his knowledge bank. So yeah, he was great. So many good guests. I feel like I want everybody back, to be honest.
I feel like I want everybody back in one room.
Oh, that would be a trip, huh?
That would be sick.
That would be sick. We'll see.
Like a Heat Press Nation creator getaway.
Dude, don't tease, bro. Don't tease. That would be nuts. But yeah, if there's somebody that you want us to be talking to, let us know who we should book for season 2. You can email us. The email is going to be there in the description. Just copy paste that sucker and fire off an email. Let us know. Or honestly, just you could tweet at us. You could Instagram at us, right? Somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah. Message us, DM us,
Yeah.
send us some emails.
Very cool. Very cool. Yeah. So season 2, gonna be dope. Chris, what plans do you have? Well, okay.
Season 2.
Season 2. All right. So this is season finale, season 1.
Okay.
Season finale of season 2. What do you hope to have accomplished by then? Like, do you want to like tackle like white toner?
So
I know you've been.
You're
dipping
saying
your feet
finale
in-
of season 2?
Yeah. So by
Okay.
the end of next season, where do you want to be heat press wise?
So you're right. I have been dipping my toes. I'm in the kiddie pool side of
The kiddie
white
pool,
toner.
yes.
But I'm learning that right now. I really want to master that as well.
Yeah.
And heat transfer paper.
Oh, yeah,
Just
yeah.
all of it. I want to, by the end of season 2, at the minimum,
Mm-hmm.
at least know how to do everything and the steps. Not necessarily memorize the temperatures and like.
I still don't have those memorized. dude.
Yes.
7 years later.
Exactly.
I don't
think that's even possible. But just like you always need something to refer to.
Yeah.
But knowing the steps in the process, not being able to skip steps, like not making simple mistakes, just making the most out of what I have.
Nice. Do you think by the end of next season you'll be ready to host an episode of Heat Press Nation live solo?
Oh, I don't think so.
Okay. How am I supposed to take a vacation?
Okay, maybe. If you need to go on vacation, then I'll cover you for a little bit. But
I'm just messing. But not really though. Maybe.
I don't know. Maybe. We'll see. Yeah.
We'll work you up to it.
Yeah.
We'll work you up to it.
That's the goal.
That's sick. Well, dude, Chris, thank you again. Favorite guest.
Thank you so much for having me again.
On the podcast, dude. Yeah, so good to have you. Ladies and gentlemen, everybody, this has been the season finale of Customizing Culture, the Heat Press Nation podcast. My name is Jared, your host. My usually my co-host, favorite guest, Christopher. I said that right?
Christopher I, yeah.
We kept calling him Christopher AI at the beginning because nobody knew how to say it because we're all dumb. No, my favorite guest, Christopher I. And yeah, we'll see you guys in season 2 coming soon.
See you guys in season 2.